Would it be, would it do? Is I your Lord Octopussy? This is my 4th time trying to record this. I originally had a plan for a video to talk about how I thought this chapter was going to be like the Prey 2022/Predator chapter, but Paulie Esther did a really good video on that, so not going to rehash that. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer some constructive criticism about the one part of her, the one part of Skull Merchant that can actually be reworked, or is most likely to get reworked or changed, and that's her power. My problem with her power is that A, it's zoney, because you could drop it on a loop and if survivors don't leave, then they get exposed in one shot, so they're most likely just going to hold W to the next loop and you get an artist/night situation, and it's just too passive. You just drop a drone and occasionally you pull up the radar, press a few buttons, and that's it. There's no real interaction. Like, the survivors have more interactivity with your power than you do. And then some killers that's okay, like Pig for example has that, Sadako also has that, but you know, I don't think that should be the case with this, right? We should be trying to make this unique killer, or at least somewhat unique killer, right? So I'm gonna try and lean more into the hunter aspect of like this stalker hunter with surveillance capabilities. So let's go into rework, because it's not gonna be like a major rework, it's gonna be like one thing that changes. But it's going to be a game changer, I feel. So the power is still called Eyes in the Sky because there's no point of renaming it. You still start the trial with 4 drones, and you can still drop them down. You still have your little cooldown thing. That basically acts the same. Like, the drones act the same. There is the scouting mode. Obviously, the scouting mode is exactly the same as before. Active mode, exactly the same as before, although the detection zone no longer marks survivors or locks on to survivors. Rather, it just grants the killer undetectable, which would now be instant the moment you enter in the detection zone, and lingers for 5 seconds after you leave the detection. So you can still use it in a loop, but it's less threatening to the survivor and more for like the mind games by just deleting your red stain. Where this power truly changes is in control mode. So when a drone is active or in active mode, you can, obviously once your ability is off cooldown, you can remotely control the drone and you get like full control over it. Kind of like a Victor but flying above the ground a little. So you press the active ability button whilst not holding up your radar, and you enter into control mode for 30 seconds, right? It has a duration of 30 seconds. Once you've reached that duration, the drone becomes inactive for 30 seconds, right? So while in control mode, you can basically stalk survivors through the drone or lock on to them. And when a survivor is fully locked on, the drone will follow them for 30 seconds. The skull merchant goes back into her body, and the drone now follows the survivor. And while the drone is following the survivor, the survivor suffers from both the oblivious and exposed status effects, and because the drone is following them, they are on your radar. This basically turns into this like long-range ghost face. Like, the survivors could still like hide from it and stuff. Like, it'd be kind of like Victor, where you can't really see scratch marks. I suppose pools of blood don't matter because you're trying to insta down them, or like get the thing. So you can still see pools of blood, but you can't see the scratch marks. And because of the noise the drone makes, it becomes harder to track the survivor, like with sound. So you kind of have to be quite alert. And obviously, like just like with lock-on, like it goes down once they're out of that whole lock-on thing. So it's not like you could just 99 them. That is basically the only change I would make to this killer, is the whole control mode aspect. Because all of a sudden the power becomes much more interactive, and it becomes a lot more, it leans a lot more into that hunter, stalker, surveillance type of playstyle that I think Behavior was trying to go for. So yeah, let me know what you thought in the comments below, and that's it from me. See you never. Bye.